Hello, good morning and welcome to Business on News Desk. Now, economist Professor Godfred Bokpin is impressing on government the need for the supplementary budget to focus more on revenue-generating initiatives rather than election-related ones. The Finance Minister said Tekpe is to present a supplementary budget and a mid-year review of the 2016 budget later today. Now, the concern, however, is whether government can avert unnecessary high spending, especially in such an election year, which comes with far-reaching negative economic implications. Professor Bokpin believes this could largely be achieved only if the supplementary estimates are revenue-focused. He also adds the Finance Minister should seize the opportunity to not only update Ghanaians on the IMF program, but also explain why the delay in meeting some key targets.
Certain things will come up because of the reality. One, the energy sector. The challenge there is more than just technical deficiency. It's about financing. And for that reason, there may be certain necessary interventions in those areas. But when it comes to other election-related expenditures, starting new projects, some districts, new schools being built, unless it's critical. Otherwise, we should be able to hold on to those ones and make sure that we are able to go through this election and preserve the fundamentals of the economy. The reality on the ground is that if you ask for more in terms of supplementary estimate, once your revenue envelope remains draft, then it means that you are going to do more borrowing. That itself is not good for the economy. There isn't much that we can do about expenditure. But I think that I will need more interventions in the area of revenue enhancement, because as a country, our tax effort is very, very low. That the minister should be able to explain to us how the leakages in our revenue envelope are being managed. How are we ensuring?
All right, so the Minister of Finance is scheduled to present the supplementary budget anytime soon, and we're crossing over to Parliament, where correspondent George Rafi is standing by to give us some updates on what's currently.
Lands and natural resources, yes. And so, you know, we are in the rainy season, and for our ministry, because we are in charge of forestry and with the climate change issues and all that, our expectation is that we'll be able to get our budget so as to be able to continue with our plantation and other forest development that we are undertaking in our ministry.
Some will say that there's a kind of a global squeeze. How are you also realigning your budget to ensure that you're not affected badly? Because it looks like at the national level and even at the international level, what government was expecting in terms of revenue, we are not going to get everything.
Yeah, because of that, we have already put in place measures to ensure that we ourselves as a ministry, we come up with our own initiatives to be able to carry on our mandate. But we also want government to continue intervening, because, you know, investment in forest plantation is not easy to get investors to come in. And so whilst we are doing our best, we still expect that government will also, no matter what the situation, squeeze something out of stone for us to be able to continue with our forest development, because it's very, very important. And you know, now the whole world has acknowledged that plantation is green gold, and so it is important that as a country we also take it seriously.
So that was the Deputy Minister of Land, Forestry and Natural Resources sharing her view with us as in what she is expecting, Barbara, what she's expecting in terms of funding for this particular year. She appreciates the fact that there are challenges at the global level, but what can be done to ensure that she gets the required funding from the ministry. Many people will be looking forward to see how the Finance Minister is going to deal with funding for some interventions that he has already announced. You should talk about the fact that allowances for nurses, how is he going to fund it? You talk about subsidies as well, and those are the critical things going into the real proper election season. Don't forget about the IMF program. Now, there's talk about a significant fiscal consolidation, more of cutting down expenditure. How is he going to deal with all these issues? That is a question I know most of you will be asking yourself, but I believe that you'll be getting some answers as the Finance Minister goes before the House very, very soon. When I go through the order paper, you see that there is prayers, there is correction of votes and proceedings of the official report. There are going to be statements as well. There will be presentation of papers. You have presentation of the first reading of bills and motions, and the third item on the bill or the order paper is the supplementary estimate for 2016 year. So it looks like before we get to the actual or the proper presentation, you see all these things happening in Parliament before the Finance Minister steps in to read before the House for some approval to spend some additional revenue that has come in with respect to monies that have come from the energy sector levy. This is George Yafe reporting for Joy News on Multi TV, and expect us more in terms of a comprehensive package when it comes to this supplementary budget. All those who matter, the members of parliament, the ministers, and all the businessmen and the economists, right here from Parliament House.
All right, so we should be bringing you live pictures from Parliament for the coverage of the supplementary budget to be presented by the Finance Minister anytime soon. Meanwhile, economist and chartered accountant of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Thomas Kisi Boafo, in an earlier interview also gave his expectations on the Finance Minister's presentation.
When you look at the current trends, you see the commodity, especially our major export commodity, cocoa is picking up gradually, only that the oil situation is where we still have a problem. This means that expect our revenue situation at least to be coming down, because I do not expect anything picking up seriously from the area of the oil. And when we also look at our cocoa, I don't expect any significant improvement in the cocoa output. We have already closed the year and we're just about to start the new crop season. So we don't expect anything to come out from that area. Good is picking up as seriously as we all expected. So we expect a downward trend in terms of our revenue. And when we look at the aspect of taxation, you see the economy did not pick up seriously. When you look at the composite index of business activities, it's not as robust used to be in the previous first half of the previous year, so that we will not be able to do much by way of revenue collection. Most of the businesses are crying. Then again, the return of the subsidy that has been classified as realignment is also another thing that we should be able to look at. And the lesson here, that means we need to clear so many arrears. We also heard about the reintroduction of the restoration of the allowances of nurses.
Economist Thomas Kisi Boafo sharing his expectations on the supplementary budget to be presented in Parliament this morning. Ending this morning's edition of the business segment. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji. Stay tuned and keep watching.